Welcome to Sports Idiot Nation. Today we'll find out how the sweet life for T.I. went down in Nashville and why the chips are down in Vegas and who won, lovers or haters, this week in the Shedeur Bowl.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
T.I., it's been a great run. We appreciate all you've done for us. This is indeed T.I.'s final episode of Sports Idiot Nation as we have a new Captain Stabbin'.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Monday, November 24th. We're getting our bellies ready for Thanksgiving and getting you all caught up on the shenanigans that were this weekend. So first, we want to talk about the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, and a big congrats to a one T.I. As always, I'm joined by T.I. and Miles Behind Enemy Lines. And
I want to hear you say coordinator again. Coordinator.
I said offensive coordinator. Coordinator.
Offensive corduroy.
Teddy Ruxpin. So I was making fun of the Titans and making fun of T.I., and they only had 3 points at the time. And this was yesterday, of course. And I thought that they'd score maybe 3 more points the whole game, and they just shot out of a cannon.
So you got to return from one Chimere DK. I think Chimere. I still can't pronounce his name. I think that's right. Either way, you got another return from him. He's something to hang your hat on. I mean, he's already got two punt returns for a touchdown. He leads all returners in practically every category. If he's not all pro, I don't know what's going on. There's nobody else really doing it, but he gets a lot of opportunities too.
I was gonna say, he has 97 more attempts.
Yeah, it's a lot of opportunities.
Had some good seats though at the game. It looks like
I did. Yeah,
on the field. On the field, bro.
I was on the field. Well, I wasn't on the field the whole time. They won't allow you to be on the field the whole time. But yeah, I was in.
They don't let offensive coordinators be on the field. That's weird.
No,
well, going to call the play.
Well, their team is clearly not on the field the whole time.
I called it from the suite that I was in.
Yeah, you texted it in the place.
Yeah, I just had my headset on. I was calling them in. I mean, there's some coordinators that not
make sure the right guard pulls on this one.
Yeah, they don't necessarily stay on the field, But yeah, I had a fellow I used to work with. Actually, I was his boss, but we were more so just coworkers. But he hit me up, and his company had some extra seats for their suite, and invited me to bring my kiddo and myself, and so we went in there, and man, had a blast, man. All free food, all free drinks. Got to go down on the field, hang out, the whole shebang, So. And then they were like, "Hey, congratulations! You won the raffle, Flame the Fans raffle. You get to call the plays today." So there you go, man. That's why the Titans did great second half, because I won that halftime raffle.
As long as you take the L, we need you to have the first pick. So keep taking
the
L.
Lost by 6. I can't believe they kept it within 6 of Seattle.
See, Seattle did the usual. Build up a big lead and then kind of just take your foot off the gas, which is I've always said it's the dumbest way to play football. It's like, oh, well, we're just trying to get out of here without an injury, or we're just trying to burn the clock. And then you give a team like Tennessee, who's not very good, a window when they start believing in themselves a little bit, and they're like, you could tell Seattle was panicking towards the end. And, Tennessee came close to getting the onside kick. It just didn't go 10 yards. I mean, they recovered it, just did not go exactly 10 yards. And so
we couldn't have a handicap on our onside kicks. We're that bad. Come on, just get 6.5. And
I mean,
you can have it. Just take it.
Of course, the new rule where you have to alert someone that you're doing an onside kick. That's just, to me, is just kind of stupid. Oh, hey, by the way, we're doing a trick play. That's literally what the equivalent of it is, right? That's the whole point. You're not supposed to be a surprise.
Play action.
Yeah.
penalty,
Like,
play action, false start, or like false motion.
Hey, if you're planning on running
Illegal.
the ball, you have to alert your opponent before you run the ball.
Illegal procedure. So
but no, it was
that
a good time,
actually,
man. The hospitality, Titans hospitality was great. I mean, they have to right now because nobody's won the games. But
Focus.
man, they were great. My kiddo was like, he was wanting some sour. I thought this was the coolest thing in the world. I wish I knew this guy's name. I'd give him a shout out. But the guy working the elevator at the Titans, going up to the club, the suites. My kid was wanting Sour Patch Kids. The game hadn't even started yet. I was like, bro, there's going to be all kind of desserts and stuff in this thing. How about at halftime we get some Sour Patch Kids? He's like, all right, whatever. Fine. Fine, Dad. And the guy in the elevator is like, he's like, oh, man. And he pulls out a box of Sour Patch Kids completely unopened and opens the pack and gives my kid about like 10 Sour Patch Kids. I was like, man, that's like some next level hospitality.
Goddamn
right there,
magician.
I know, right? I'm just glad the box wasn't open, because if it was already open and stuff, I'd be like, oh man, I don't know about this, man. It makes me feel kind of weird. But since it wasn't open, he opened it fresh, cut the thing open. I was like, man, that's really cool. Yeah, man. So I had a good time, man. It would have been nice to see the Titans win. It's only the second time my son's been to the game. The first time he went to the Colts game, we destroyed the Colts. So everybody was kind of thinking that he might be the good luck charm. I took him to
years ago.
Yeah, it was like when he was like 5 or something.
he was
like 5
in the
years
womb.
ago.
He was in the womb.
But yeah, I took him to the tailgate for about 30 minutes. Let him introduce him to a lot of folks. He's met some of those guys when we did like the charity. When Mr. Titan did his charity event, I took him out there, so he's met a lot of those guys. But they were really cool. Yeah, he enjoyed it. He took
him to another charity event. Going to a Titans game these days.
I heard that is you offered your son up as a charity.
Yes, that's how I got to call the plays.
He's taking
a sacrifice. And
I told him,
sacrifice.
I was like, man, we get to go down the field. You want to go down the field? He was like, what? He's like, yeah, I get to go down the field. He had a blast, man. They were playing some of his favorite songs in the stands, and he was dancing all around. I mean, not in the stands, in the stadium, and he was dancing all around, loving it. Him and some
not
kids
watching football.
He watched about midway the third, and he started getting a little antsy. And him and some of the other kids with the parents started playing tag and stuff. And,
Titans typically do that themselves on Sundays too.
Pretty much too in touch. He was cracking up though. He was cracking me up. He was saying some of the funniest stuff. He was just talking about like they flashed up the twice daily. The Titans score, you get a free drink, and he was like, free drink. He's like, what is that? He's like, a free drink. He's like, that's literally like they hardly ever score, so like they're just gonna offer you a free drink, And he was just totally tuned into that, which was hilarious. And then he was like, he said, I don't know. I think we're the only. I was with my buddy and his son when we were going down the field. He's like, I don't know. I think we're the only 4 Titans fans I've even seen here, because it was. The whole house was Seahawks, man. The whole place, the whole bottom bowl was just all Seahawks. And they were yelling, they were doing Seahawks. One person yell it out and the rest of them do it. And my son was looking around like, what the hell is going on? He said, he looked at me, he's like, we're not doing that. And I was like, no,
good boy.
No,
that's my son.
Do that.
No son of mine.
Because we're not doing that. And then he was, when they were in the end, like when they were all leaving, they were all chanting their Seahawk thing. And he was like, tighten up. He was like telling all these people, tighten up, so. But it's a good time, man. I wish they would. Well, I mean, I guess I don't wish they would have got the win because we want them to get the first pick. But, I wanted him to maybe see the win. But he was obsessed with the play clock. He was asking all kind of questions because he was a lot younger when he first time went. But he was asking like, so. Well, I saw a score and we only got 3. Like, why did we get 6? Explain to him. I was like, and he had the extra point, but he kept watching the play clock, and he'd watch it get down to like 2, and he'd start panicking. He's like, oh, the play clock, and I'm like, don't worry,
snap
I'm
it.
Like, don't worry. There's people's job to pay attention to that. Like, I know you're panicking.
Yeah,
they don't do a very good job.
No, I was gonna say they miss it sometimes though, buddy. You got to yell it, buddy.
They could have drafted your son first overall this last year, and it'd be no different. Like, what are we doing? Your son's the most in tune Tennessee Titan there is. Put him on the 53-man roster. At this point, I'm sold.
Yeah,
Get that kid a goddamn helmet.
Yeah, but he
Put some
was
shoulder
laughing,
pads
man.
on him.
Love
They
it.
flashed up the Buffalo Wild Wings because we got a rushing touchdown. It's the first rushing touchdown I think we've had all season. And they were like, you get 6 free wings at B-Dubs. And he was like, oh, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings, I was like, no, we're not going to Buffalo Wild Wings. We're going
Real winners
home.
go to Disney World. The Titans go to B-Dubs.
We were going home because
Go
I
to
ate
Disney
every
World.
possible amount of food that they had in the little suite. Man, they
And
had
I need a bathroom.
they had short rib, they had barbecue, they had like all kind of chicken. I mean, dude, they had. I've been to a Preds suite before, and it was fine, but it wasn't like that. I was like, oh man, this is crazy, But it's my first
Good
time
eats.
ever. Been going to Titans game 25 years, never been in a suite, so it was a pretty nice experience.
So you mentioned earlier with the offense and the onside kick and the rule of having to tell the other team, and so it got me thinking because now.
This is your question of the week.
Okay, so question of the week is going to be if you could be commissioner of any league, hockey, baseball, football, basketball, what rule change would you make and why? So we will answer that after Thanksgiving on Friday. We will find out what rule you would like to change and why for any of the 4 major sports. So I'll give you my hint, and we'll get into some more football. Mine will have to do with baseball 100%. So let's stick with the NFL and talk about the Shedeur Geno Bowl and come up with 5 things that Chip Kelly could be doing instead of coaching football, as he was let go a few hours ago, literally. So Miles, we talked about this. You text in the group chat, like basically the game went the way we thought. I don't want to spend a ton of time on purpose on this game because at the end of the day, it's Browns Raiders. But we do have to talk about it. So what did you think of Shedeur or Shedeur?
Well, first I want to say 5 things
Doers
that
and
Chip
don'ts.
Kelly could be doing. Number 1, eating chips and dip, because that's a thing to do on Sundays when you're not coaching football.
And your name
But-
is Chip.
Yes. Number 2, Shedeur, I think we need to create a Sin shirt that says world's okayest quarterback, because that's exactly what he was on Sunday. It wasn't good. He was like the purgatory of prognosticators and quarterbacks. He was like like a screen pass, 66 yards and a tutty. Like,
He's like the state of Oklahoma.
probably could have done that. We're just okay, and we're there. Like, Oklahoma's just kind of there. They got some casinos. If you're betting on them to get a dub, he came through for you. Beyond that, like, he looked like a 5th round quarterback rookie, but he still was draftable because he'll still deliver in Las Vegas.
So, T.I., who won, the lovers or the haters?
Oh man, I think they'll have to wait till next week. I think they're
The master debaters.
Yeah,
That's
I
who
think they're
won, the
both.
master debaters.
I think they're both satisfied. I think the
Right?
lovers
Isn't
are
that
like,
wild?
hey, we gotta win, and we've been believing in him, and we've been telling you put him in there. And then the haters are like, yeah, but he didn't really do anything. So let's see him go against a good team,
An NFL team. Yeah, let's see him go.
Antonio Pierce, he was like, if he was still there, like he had full plans of drafting Shedeur. And then of course they did what they did, and like you said, Chip Kelly. I mean, why in the world did they even bring Chip Kelly in as OC? What did they think he was going to do? I mean, that man's been washed up for years, I mean, granted it's Geno Smith, but I mean, you should still be able to get something out of him. I mean, that offense has just been pitiful. I mean, hell, they beat the Titans, but their offense is worse than the Titans. I mean, even their offense didn't really beat them. It was more Cam Ward doing his ridiculous turnovers, fumbling and throwing it in the air, dropping the ball.
There is a job opening, and now Chip Kelly's available. You know what? UCLA should hire him as head coach. There's
Man,
a thought.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that might work out.
Yeah,
Might work
T.I.
out.
saying he's been washed up for years. Hell no. Chip Kelly balled out at UCLA, and those dumbasses fired him. Like,
Yeah,
no,
actually,
Chip Kelly is not washed up. He's a damn good college football coach. That's where he's belonged his entire life. And these idiots in the NFL decided to bring him up. No, that's ridiculous. He is a college football head coach, period, point blank, and he still should be coaching at the college level.
let's recap Chip Kelly in the NFL. So, stops in Philadelphia. He ran the offense into the ground because he wanted to speed. And they're like, Coach, we can't keep up. You're killing us. And the defense is coming on the field too often. And that didn't work. In San Francisco, kind of same thing. Didn't work out. And now he's stuck with the Raiders. Like, Chip Kelly in the NFL.
He had and he was trying to, like you said, running a mile a minute with an old Michael Vick, and he was giving LaShawn McCoy like 45 carries a game. You know, I remember that year because I made sure to draft Michael Vick and LaShawn McCoy because I was like, okay, Chip Kelly, I see what you're doing.
You got to touch the ball.
Yeah.
And it started off great. And then when it
for half a
burned,
second.
it crashed and burned. About week 6, it was like,
yeah. What happens
Michael
is
Vick was
when you don't convert,
you
don't convert on third down and you've only had the ball for 11 seconds because you went so fast, the defense is like, hold on, I didn't even order my Gatorade. They asked me what color I wanted. I told them I wanted blue. I haven't received it yet, and you're punting already. I got to get back on the field. That's not realistic for the defense.
So,
like, bro, you need a minute.
That is so funny. You said they asked me what color I wanted because I have always joked that like Gatorade is the only drink in the world where no one knows the flavors. They just say the colors. What do you want? Fruit punch or what do you want?
What do you think I was gonna say?
I want the green one with the green one.
Yeah, the lime green, the red, the blue, the orange. What are we talking about,
man? Yeah, there's
the
like
only
20,
way to get
20
Gatorade.
different flavors, and it's just like, no, I want the white one. Oh, you want the cherry glacier? I don't, whatever the hell it's called.
Oh,
the white
the
one.
Baja Blast or whatever. No, dude.
Yeah.
Red.
Yeah, give me the one that's got the soccer player on it.
But in college, I mean, Chip Kelly has had some. I mean, Oregon, right?
I mean, he did great at Oregon for sure. Yeah. I mean, he did fine.
Look,
he was phenomenal. He's phenomenal at UCLA. With what UCLA's expectations are, the dude won 8 or 9 games 3 to 4 straight years. And then you gave that up to be a shithole? That's insane. Chip Kelly would have them in a bowl game every year in the Big Ten. No, Chip Kelly is a college head coach. Like, this isn't hard to comprehend.
Yeah,
the dude can flat out coach at the college level. Everything that you talked about with running a fast offense, it adapts perfectly to the college game.
Yeah.
Hell freaking low.
Hello. Last year, didn't he win a natty? Hello. Was he not the offensive coordinator that won the national championship?
With Ohio State.
Okay, well, what are we talking about? Yeah, in college, he can do some things, but the Raiders is where you go to die. I mean,
I just don't know why he had any interest in that.
We need to follow Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers to see how their careers go, because if Tom Brady doesn't get things right, well, first of all, Tom Brady needs to stop saying the N-word. Can we call off Operation One of Us is Crazy? Let's call that off. How about you don't pull a Tom Brenneman? Remember when Tom Brenneman got fired with the Reds for like saying something was gay or something?
He was talking about Kansas City, which, by the way, just this last week, Kansas City was voted for the 5th straight year an A+ LGBTQ city, which when he said that as the FAG capital of the world, I'm like, what is he talking? Like, that doesn't even comprehend. You have your San Francisco, where Adam hails from. That's why it's the gay capital of the world in my mind. But then he said that,
Chicago,
and
Boys
now
Town.
we talk about, yeah, that's fine, any major city, but Kansas City, like, that's so random. But then I saw that rating, I was like, that makes sense. And now you're bringing it full circle, bringing that up again about him getting canned for that. That's fine. You know anything gay. Adam knows anything gay. He will bring it right back to you.
Everything. He knows everything, not just anything.
Sure.
The worst part about the Tom Brady thing is he said it with enough diction to where it was clear he was not about to say it. And then he just, instead of just ignoring it, he's like laughs And then like he goes,
I meant to.
I mean, it was like, bro, you just
It was hard R. It was hard
just
R.
Just let it go, man. Don't acknowledge it. Like you didn't fully follow through. You were trying to say, you know, the guy's name. What was it? Dickerson? I think his name was Dickerson. I don't know who the player was, but it was like, and then he just totally acknowledges like an idiot. Like rule. That's why I always say like he is a terrible announcer because he's just like there was no reason. He should just rolled with it and just let it go. He would have been able to explain himself. He would have been able to defend himself when everything hits the internet. Instead, he like fully embraces it live on television. Like, oh, that's probably not a good move, Tom Brady.
We can't roll the black cock. I mean, the clock back. Like that. That was for Adam. He's talking about that one. Like the slip of the tongue ones is like the black cock back.
They always say. I mean.
Cock.
I remember Phil Simms used to say the dumbest shit, man. A guy. There was one time he was like, Sam Quan Gatto is out there. I think it was his name. You know, guy used to play for the Packers for a couple other teams. He's like, he's running out there. Oh, it's a man on a mission. He's running out there like someone's trying to beat up his mom. I was like, what? Hold up. I'm sorry. What? What are you? Where did that come from?
What are we visualizing? Yeah.
And then he said the same game. He said somebody was running like he was running through a town with a pack of wild dogs chasing him with meat strapped on him, and it was just like, what? Again, like you know, other dudes looking at him like, what are you saying? No, shut up. You know, like it was just the dumbest shit. And Phil Simms is probably taking a lot of hits to the head, but. You know, they just get there live and just wind up saying the dumbest shit. I just thought Tom Brady really screwed the pooch by acknowledging it instead of just letting it slide. But if he wants to back to him fixing the Raiders, maybe he should just go play quarterback for him. I mean, can't be any worse.
He was slinging it to A.J. Brown. He was slinging it. A.J. Brown bobbled it. A.J. Brown hasn't bobbled a ball since 1997.
A.J. Brown's going to ask to be traded to the Raiders next. You know? Yeah.
So,
especially after their debacle. Oh my God, man! You know,
let's get into that. So, Eagles and Cowboys. That was my next transition there. That 21-0. Even Miles is texting like, "Oh, this is bad." Cowboys fans. And then here come the Cowboys, just annoyingly enough. So, like, okay, but they're not going to win. And then, oops, you know, okay, Philly special. They blow it. And it's just like, whoever loses, all of America would be happy. It doesn't matter who would lose. So, like, we all win.
I mean, my thing
by losing.
So, yesterday, I served as intern OC for the Titans and scored a lot of points. So, my question for you guys is, if Saquon Barkley is only getting 20 yards and you have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, don't you just start running the ball with Jalen Hurts nonstop, like 5, 6, 7 more times instead of just keep trying the same old stuff when it's clearly not working and you're letting the Cowboys come back? And then maybe tell your return man that, hey, if you're about to catch the ball on the 1, just let it go. Like, what in the world, you know? Gave them right there. There's a bunch of dumb stuff I saw in that game that was just like. And then the one thing that blew my mind was the Cowboys, that 21-point deficit comeback is tied for the biggest comeback in franchise history. I'm like, only 21 points? Like, you know, you see other teams come back from like 35, sometimes 40 points.
Well,
and
they usually lay down.
I was like,
they usually just lay down.
Yeah, like 21 points is your franchise tied for franchise best comeback. Like, I don't know. I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I'm like, does that mean they're really not out of the games, or does that mean that they just really hadn't had a lot of comebacks?
And historically, if you look at the Cowboys historically, when are they completely average like they are this season, though? Because usually they're either really, really bad or really, really good. So they haven't had to come back from a deficit like that or just not capable of. So that's to your point. Exactly. But this year they are wildly mediocre, and the entire Metroplex is losing their mind over the fact that the Cowboys now are alone in 10th place in the NFC. They have hope. They're
alone.
They're all there at 5-5 and 1.
They're naked and alone. Dallas Cowboys.
I thought you were going to say they're neck and neck for like the 12th overall pick in the draft. Like,
well, like you said, they're just going to Like you
fall
said, the
back
last
enough.
episode, they're just going to draft another lineman. Like you said, they
Off,
always do.
yeah, offensive guard. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Till they find the right one in 2034.
Naked and alone was the Philly scoreboard in the second half as Saquon Barkley had a total of 17 touches, 10 rushes for 22 yards, 7 catches for 52 yards. To Ti's point, just not good enough. Their offense has been stale for quite some time. They're eking by against some of the other teams, and finally it came back to bite them, to the pleasure of America. The only chagrin that we have is like, oh, it's got to be Dallas. But wait a minute. My math checks out and says if Philly loses and they're playing Dallas, oh no, that means Dallas has to win, which we also really don't care for. So it's like, well, you do what you got to do, take one for the team.
Yeah,
So America,
I was just
Grenade,
amazed. I was just amazed watching that play call on down the stretch. I was just like, Saquon's doing nothing. Like, just run some option plays. Like, Jalen Hurts is going to get you more yards than what's going on right now, and maybe move the chains. Instead, you just, I don't know. I was, for lack of better terms, I was flabbergasted, as some of the old folks say. I was flabbergasted watching.
Gaster was flabbered.
I was picking up some Mexican for dinner. I was enjoying my adult beverage margarita and just watching into that game because I have said on this program, as Adam says, I have in my fantasy in my league that matters the most. I have Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith, so of course I'm invested in it, and I'm sitting here watching this, which I have handily won. It didn't really matter. I'm winning by 50 points right now, and I still have CMC to go. Tonight,
win by 90.
Yeah, and my opponent unfortunately had Baker Mayfield as a starter, so that did not go very well for him. So I'm doing just fine in that. So I didn't really care the fact that they weren't producing, but I was just sitting here watching this, going, this is not the first half that I saw. Like, what in the hell,
Yeah.
But hey, Philly has looked kind of weird at times. They're a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, man. That Packers game we saw was very weird.
Also weird. What do you say more about, the Chiefs or the Colts, Miles? Was that game more about the Chiefs winning or the Colts losing?
I'll still go with Kansas City. The fact that they're playing at home and it was an absolute must-win for them, seeing what's going on across the AFC. The Colts losing on the road again, because they did in Pittsburgh. The Colts are who we think they are. They're the best team in the AFC South, and that's it. That's all. They're not going to win the AFC, and that's okay. They're still a mile ahead of schedule. They're doing way more than anyone expected. Obviously, Taylor didn't do sloppy anything, and that's going to happen in this league, and especially when you're playing the 27-time reigning AFC champion. Kansas City still shows that they are a problem any week that, at least they play in Arrowhead, and they're still going to be a factor down the stretch. The Colts are going to do what they do. It's nothing really to worry about. You still go into Arrowhead, and you were there. You're right there. You should have won the game. You didn't. Whatever. You're still 8-3. You're still Indianapolis. You're still in a division that is better than we expected. Cool. Whatever. Indianapolis will make the playoffs. Yeah, like they're on the Indy, like you're you, and you're better than what we thought, and you'll be in the postseason. Great. Go get them, guys. Like, if you win a postseason game or two, shit, yeah. If you lose in the first round, no one's going to really care about it because, again, you still overachieved at this point. Kansas City, you lose that game. What in the actual hell is going on in KC? Andy Reid, fire his ass. You lose that game. Not literally, but that's all about Kansas City finding a way to win because they are exactly who they are, and Indy is who they are. The is and ours going all over the place, but Kansas City's still a playoff team. I expect them to make the postseason.
Playoffs.
And if Kansas City, I don't care where they're playing at in the postseason,
you can't write them off.
God, I hate this. One day I was actually cheering for the Fighting Seths. They let us down.
Now, TI, here's something to think about, stat that you may or may not know. The Kansas City Chiefs, based on playoff implications right now, the three teams that they're looking up at as far as the wild card, they do not hold an advantage over any of them. So they still have like no room for error. They still have to just
Sure.
do nothing but win. So knowing that, do you still give them, like, at what point, like, we're in almost Thanksgiving, guys. Like, at what point do we either write them off or say all full bore, oh, they are absolutely in the playoffs? Like, at what, or is it still like, well, no, wait and see,
Well,
wait and see.
well, we are near Thanksgiving, and there's one person that knows that we are right near Thanksgiving. And that is Andy Reid, because you can just look at that man and know that he's looking forward for Thanksgiving. But he knows they're in playoff.
He has
They're
the meats.
They're in the playoffs now. Like, that's the thing, and he is the experienced coach that I think can resonate with his players and tune them in. Like, hey guys, this is it. It's now or nothing. You want to be laughing stock. You want to get made fun of. You want to let Taylor Swift down. Probably not recommended to let Taylor Swift down. You lose Taylor Swift, you shit's hit the fan. So I think that if there's any, like we said, if there's any team out there that can run the tables and find themselves in the playoffs, they're the team that I would not want to bet against. So I believe in Andy Reid. I think he's probably the single-handed greatest coach. Everybody likes to give it to Belichick, but I think when Tom Brady went down to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl without him, I think that disproved it. So Andy Reid, I think, is going to have him playing. Does that mean I think they're not going to slip up and lose a game? No, because they very well could. But I think they proved yesterday that, hey, going up against the Colts, they did what they needed to do to win, and not a lot of people gave them a shot in hell, except for Vegas for some reason. They still have the greatest odds to win the Super Bowl, which is so weird. But I guess it's that just the history of Mahomes, and all that. And that's another thing too. Mahomes has been playing pretty suspect and average, and you just get that guy on a roll, and got to watch out, because we all have seen what he can do. And I don't think everybody wants to say is like, oh, is he going to start taking a back seat to some of these younger quarterbacks and all this? And I don't think so. He's still Patrick Mahomes. He just can still do things on the field that no other quarterback in the NFL could do. So I agree with Miles. It says more about the Chiefs than it does the Colts losing. But I think Colts, like we always say, Colts are good enough to get in there and maybe win a first round, and they're not going past that. All you got to do is shut down Jonathan Taylor, and Danny Dimes is going to remember who he is. I know he had 2 touchdowns yesterday, but we've seen some games where he gets that panic look in his face. And if Jonathan Taylor isn't getting 170 yards and 3 touchdowns, then it's up to Danny Dimes to put the team on the back. And I just don't know if he can do that when it comes to playoff time. I mean, regular season, sure. But, I mean, now you got the Texans clicking. Old E.T. Davis Mills is out there. C.J. Stroud, sad C.J. Stroud.
Could you imagine a Colts quarterback balling out in the regular season and then failing in the postseason? That would never happen. Never would happen for Indianapolis.
I've never seen that happen ever.
Unreal. So
especially if they have to go face the Patriots, I mean, that would never happen.
Right.
Yeah, what world are we living in? Like, someone in a coma for 10 years comes out and like, yep, it's still Colts and Patriots.
Rewind the clock.
This is the portion of the show, as we are 30 minutes in, where we congratulate the Chicago Bears on beating Mason Rudolph by 3 points. And thank your lucky stars that Aaron Rodgers wasn't in, because you would have lost. And this has been our time on the Chicago Bears. Like, thank you for coming. Like, we give them some love. They keep finding ways to win. We talked about this, but I was not impressed by the way that they got it done, because this is where you say Pittsburgh Rudolphed it. They Rudolphed that game. It was one of those. Yes, I know Chicago is missing every linebacker that's ever signed up to play for them. But I mean, don't talk to me about injuries, because I know of a team that, knows a thing or two about injuries. We'll talk about them as they play tonight. But I get it. But come on, Bears. You got to have a better showing than that, in my opinion.
They
TI.
remind me that entire division. I'm going to interject here because the entire division in the NFC North reminds me of Vegas Vacation, where there's 4 of them and they all have like the worst luck. And then the idiot son, the Chicago Bears, just lucks into all this bull crap and he keeps winning. He makes the dumbest decisions, but still finds a way to win and saves the family at the end of the day. The NFC North right now is Vegas Vacation, National Lampoons, and the son is the Chicago Bears.
Like Jahmyr Gibbs against the New York Giants.
Yeah. And also, again,
Because
the Griswold family is from where? Chicago.
Yeah.
And Mason Rudolph is his cousin Eddie for sure. Yeah.
I'm glad Myles Garrett didn't kill him a few years ago. Or
sure.
was it Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. I was making sure. Yeah.
Mason may have forgotten
Flattened.
that after getting his skull banged in, but
Flattened.
yes, it was
Dude,
Myles Garrett.
That
Turned
was
his
wild.
head.
We talked about that.
Turned his head into a literal L. Like this whole spot was dented in, you know. It was just like his face was like kind of like a J or an L, you know.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, man. And then that one, remember that one time? No, not Myles Garrett. It was Aaron Donald at one time at practice. He's like swinging 2 helmets. Like some of those guys, man.
Like Hulk
no
smash.
way. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, take a time out, man. Let's just chill. Like, I'm not trying to have my head bashed in with football helmets, okay? I already do that every day for my job. I don't need you swinging them at me, okay?
Right. It's call off operation. One of us is crazy. So yeah, Detroit, same thing. The NFC Norris division, as Chris Berman would say, is just a little bit shaky. It's hard to tell who's coming out of there. You got teams who are tying. You have teams that are just stumbling into winning. So we thought they'd be a lot better. We didn't think Chicago would be at the forefront, but it's like there's teams in the NFL who have good records who we still laugh at as far as who we think really has a real honest to goodness chance at making noise in the playoffs. And it's at some point it's going to be December here and we're still going to be laughing at good teams, like teams again who have good records. It's wild.
And
We'll
I'm
see.
laughing at this guy over here. This bitch just said, honest to goodness chance, and honest to goodness chance.
Well, okay, what other phrase would you use?
Sipping his tea.
Sipping his tea. Right? A real, you could have just said a real chance, but he said, honest to goodness.
Oh, cheerio.
On this show is proper. I mean, I think most people do know that about us.
Yeah, especially the episode where I rung off like 15 dick jokes in 45 seconds, you know?
Yeah, and then it only got like 47 views. We're all excited about it.
Yeah.
All that effort. And
All
you
that
got
effort.
nothing.
We're like, guys, we're ready to release it. And we're just watching it tick, tick, air.
Very flaccid,
yeah.
flaccid response. Very flaccid response.
That one had ED.
That's like the Pittsburgh Steelers watching the standings. Hey guys, here comes Baltimore. Like
Shrinkage.
Like
Issue with
remember about
shrinkage.
a month ago, Baltimore still had the odds. Vegas were still. This is 4 wins ago. The Ravens have won 5 in a row. Take away 4 of those. Look at what their record would have been. And Vegas still looked at the situation. They assessed who's at the helm, what is happening, who's in the driver's seat, and said, nope, we're still giving it to Baltimore. Like, how
Genius.
bad are the Browns, the Steelers,
Bengals.
and Bengals for Vegas to assess the situation and say, what? Lamar's hurt? Nah, that's all right. I'm sure
Because he's coming back. He's coming back. Joe Burrow ain't coming back, and surely,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna last.
I mean,
Even if he's on the field, he ain't gonna last. He's
so
too old.
crazy.
The Bengals are so bad that Joe Burrow could have fully played. And they're like, well, we don't have Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow can play. He might give us a chance, but let's just not even try. Let's just keep.
Then they
let's
only
just
lose
keep
by
Joe
6. They
Yeah.
cover the
And
spread.
then Baltimore is losing to
It's
the
New
Jets
England.
7-0 at halftime. You know, I'm just like, what in the hell? You know,
But yeah, and
Wild
how
world.
how fast things turn, because we're saying right there, Adam, they only lost by 6 to the Patriots. Meanwhile, last year, week 1, remember when the Patriots went into New England and won, and we all thought the world was imploding, that New England won in Cincinnati? How the turntables.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of turntables, let's turn them inwards to the college foosballs, because I ran into so many Michigan fans, and I just kept saying over the weekend, and I kept saying, "Too bad USC couldn't get a dub for you." And every single one of them, I got to give them credit, understood the assignment. They knew exactly what I was talking about. And they just went off on a tangent about it. Yeah, that was BS. How did that happen? I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I was just cracking a joke, sir. Like, calm it
Like I didn't
down.
want to be
I didn't
friends
want
with
to
you.
engage. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Get your maize and blue. This is UCLA yellow and blue. Okay, calm down. But I again, they understood the assignment. They get what I was saying. I tip my cap. But yeah, that game got kind of out of hand. It was kind of fun for about 11 minutes, and then Oregon was Oregon. Did that surprise you, Miles?
No, not at all, because USC doesn't play a lick of defense, because look who their goddamn head coach is. That game went right as scripted. And to me, as a Hoosier fan, I'm like, my God, IU must be really good, because Oregon is playing horrible football right now. You had 12 penalties for nearly 150 yards. You had a turnover on third down that was completely unforced. You had 2 drop passes, a wide open receivers on third downs, and you still win by more than Notre Dame did, playing their ass off against USC, but winning by 10 at home. No, Oregon is legit. Imagine if Oregon plays a clean game. Yes, Oregon can win a national championship. I've said this for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. Oregon is very, very damn good at football. They just continue to shoot themselves in the foot, and that's why I think ultimately they'll get bounced to the playoffs. But the main thing here is Oregon, everyone wants to sleep on them. That's totally fine. USC, God, they can light up a scoreboard, but it goes both ways. And USC had no business being considered even in conversations of making the playoff. Oregon could have won that game by 4 scores if they played halfway average that week, but they're bounced. And now Oregon's very, very, very much on upset alert. They got the 3:30 Eastern slot again on CBS, as they did this week, going to Washington. Again, your comment to the Michigan fans, I guess they don't really complete. I mean, was your whole thing with them about being in the Big Ten championship? I don't really understand that, because they must have missed the boat, because USC losing was good news for them, because all they need now is win, and then Oregon loses, and then Michigan's in the Big Ten title. So if USC would have won, they would have been, Michigan would have been done pretty much completely, because they're going to beat UCLA. So Michigan actually has some life if they can pull off that upset, and then Oregon loses at Washington, which 100% can happen. So again, IU take care of business against Purdue. I think they only win by about like 38 this week. They go up by like 24, and then, hey, let's not get anyone hurt. Let's just go on cruise control and win this game. Should be in the title game. And then the opponent, you assume Ohio State, but we assumed they were going to hammer Michigan at home last year. Certainly did not happen. Michigan, better football team this year, playing in the big house, noon Eastern, big noon kickoff on Fox. That's going to be the game of the week, but thank God, because this last week in college football was boring.
Yeah,
boring with a capital B. Boring.
There's some solid.
This next weekend is going to be good.
I was going to say there's some solid SEC matchups this past weekend. They were fantastic.
Samford,
Samford, Mercer, I think College of Charleston,
College of Charles Barkley.
I think that was the bank. I think that was the Bank of Charleston out there this last weekend.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Charlotte
Morehead
scored 3
State.
on Georgia. Hey, Georgia only scored 35 on Charlotte this week. That was embarrassing. Only won by 4 score.
Weber State,
So,
at St. Alamo A&M. I've just made that school up, obviously.
Aloysius.
I like that. Alamo A&M. I like that. That's a little catchy.
That's where Pee Wee's bike's at. It's in the basement of Alamo A&M.
So you said 35 points. That was the score in the first quarter at South Bend, Indiana. And this is what I want to bring up about the game. I don't care whatsoever. But funny stats are funny stats. And Notre Dame, they started the game. Syracuse gets the ball. They get a pick six. They have to kick it. And then they return it. Then pick six. They
Block
like
punt.
what is happening?
The block
right?
punt, scoop and score.
Yeah. So it's 21-0, and the offense has not touched the ball yet. I'm going to say that one more time. The score was 21-0, and the quarterback for Notre Dame had not stepped over the white line yet to play. He's still just hanging out on the sideline. It's 21-0. It's 21-0. What are we doing? Who is on the hoses? Like, that is, I've never seen that. I don't care what, like NFL, college, I've never seen a quarterback just hanging out on the sideline and it's 21-0. Like, that is bad, Syracuse.
They should have just set the quarterback on the sidelines, just came out there and just like, all right, we are going to run the ball every play.
And they did, and then they give it, and it's a 46-yard run touchdown. Now it's 28-0, and he's been on the field for 88 seconds.
We're going to give it to Love every time. Hey, Syracuse, we're going to give it to Love every time. If you can stop it, cool. If not, then we're just going to keep doing it. And maybe at halftime we can just call a game. I'll go home early.
Like, dude,
running clock at least in the second half. Like, adopt the Indiana high school rule where you're up by 35 at half, not just the first quarter, at half. You let the clock roll and let's get out of here. Hey, we can make, if that was was that a noon kickoff? Was that the early game? Either way, it was earlier in the day. But you could have made like the lunch hell, they might still be serving brunch at some locations if you let that clock roll after the first quarter. Get out of there, like go to Perkins at 1:30 and the game's over.
Perkins. Hey, Syracuse, why don't you join us at the Piccadilly Cafe?
As it is 49-0.
Yeah,
we'll buy you brunch after we
it's on us.
Freaking face in
it's
with
on
your four-string quarterback.
And then they score a one lone touchdown. Like at that point, like how that's even more pathetic than the shutout. Like, the 70-7 looks even worse than 70-0. It's just like, oh, so you tried in the very end when Notre Dame did not give a single fuck and just completely was like wanted to leave, and it's like what is it, that game that I think it was in a tournament a couple years ago where like the team's just getting destroyed, and like they're just trying to run down the clock, and then the guy steals it, goes down and dunks, and then they're like still losing by like 50. He's trying to act all like, okay, real cool, dude, and you end up getting like a technical for it and all this. It's like, just you're losing by 50, dude. Just let the clock ride out, like, what are you doing? Did you bet with your girlfriend that you're gonna get a dunk? And she was, if you don't get a dunk, I'm gonna break up with you. So he steals the ball, goes down like a badass. That was Syracuse with their lone pitiful ass touchdown. And
two more
coaches on the sidelines just looking like he's like, oh, just kill me right now, please.
And looking at these stats, he will want to kill himself. Here's two more funny stats. I got two more for you. Time of possession, 43 minutes and 59 seconds to 16 minutes and 1 second. Syracuse had the ball
had 43 minutes. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I was like, Syracuse surely had the ball for
Notre
44
Dame
minutes.
had the ball for 16 minutes. Jeremiah Love. Here are the stats for Jeremiah Love. 8 carries.
I was
8. Only 8 carries.
For 642 yards.
Yeah, which would be a record. Kenny Mayne. 3 touchdowns out of 8 carries. 3 out of 8. And 171 yards for an average of 21.4. Now, the average 21.4 would have been longer. The reason it wasn't is he had to stop at the end zone.
That's Forrest Gump shit right there. Yeah, Forrest Gump. Stop! All the sides stop.
Just runs to the tunnel like Devontae Adams did last night. Devontae Adams got that touchdown, just kept going. I thought he was going to run to that Taco Bell he has at his house,
Right.
Dude.
Well, Jeremiah Love was smart. He saw what happened in that Texas A&M South Carolina game where that Gamecock ran through the end zone after, and he tries to come back, and the state trooper gave him the whole shove and push. He's like, "Whoo, black
And
man here in Indiana, I better
Baker
keep
stuck
it
up
in the end
for him.
zone."
Baker stood up
Yeah,
for him.
true.
Yeah, and now
True.
Baker's hurt, so that's what you
Yeah,
get, Baker.
right. Now he lay down
Mhm.
after the fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
he blew his load there. Well, whatever. All right.
So Syracuse, somewhere Donovan McNabb, right? Donovan McNabb went to
He's
Syracuse,
still,
didn't
yeah, he's,
He
and
was like the
Marvin
last
Harrison,
relevant
that was his
player.
receiver. Yeah.
I
Well,
shouldn't say
Marvin
last.
Harrison was his receiver there. Those Syracuse teams were sick.
he? I
Those
just
teams
put
were
that
awesome.
together. Are you serious? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Marvin Harrison was his top receiver for Donovan McNabb at Syracuse. Yeah, those teams were good.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know why I thought he went to the U because that's Reggie Wayne who went to the
Reggie
U,
Wayne,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well done. That's pretty good
out of
of
the
you.
Bat Cave. Out of
Yeah.
the Bat Cave. Wayne Manor.
Yeah, right.
All right. I did. Yes, it's
Yeah.
coming to me now. It washed over me.
Initiating back cave
It was
music.
a wave. Yeah, I'm back
Yeah.
to being a football guy.
Welcome home, sir.
Yes. That game just has just so many funny stats like that, dude, where it's like, oh, I'm glad I helped host a podcast called Sports Idiot Nation. When you have stats like that, 45 minutes to 15, and the score is like 49-0 at halftime. Oh, we're gonna talk about this. Like,
I don't know
that's
who
just
feels dumber,
classic.
Syracuse for having let that up, or me for actually reading this on air. I can't believe this exists.
Yeah. All right, I gotta ask Ti something because we gotta shift to the NBA and ya boy, Ja Morant and Klay Thompson. They have been going at it for years. Not literally just them, but like the Warriors and the Grizz. Um, with playoffs, they've met in the playoffs a couple times, and I do respect the Grizzlies at that point that we're talking about a few years ago, where they were the up and comers, because the Warriors were the up and comers when they had to beat the big three of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker, and they were the up and comers, and they finally defeated the Dragon, defeated the Spurs, and became champions. And then the Grizzlies thought they were going to do that, and then we decided to not guard Tony Allen, and the rest was history. And they didn't defeat us, but so I get the jawing started from then. But whenever they see each other, they find new stuff to talk about. And so before we get into it, do you know what the tiff was this time? Did you hear exactly what they were talking about?
No, I didn't. I just saw the highlights. I assumed it was probably Klay Thompson was having a game. I think he had 6 threes, and he was probably jaw jacking because he does. He likes to talk trash. And Ja wasn't even playing, obviously. And the Mavericks are awful. They're terrible. Not like the Grizzlies are doing great by any means, but they they've already beat. I think the Grizzlies already beat the Mavericks either 2 or 3 times already this season, and that's they're just kind of toast. So I just assumed that Klay was probably running his mouth, and Ja was just reminding him, like, hey, this ain't, you're not on the Warriors anymore, buddy. Like, you're on a shit team, and you're the worst team in the league. It's great that you got 6 threes. I just figured it probably stemmed from something to the effect of Klay was running his mouth, and Ja reminded him, like, hey, man, your heydays are gone, buddy. You're not getting championships at Golden State anymore. But obviously, there's more to it. I didn't read into it. That was just me assuming from the highlights the way Klay went after him, and Ja was kind of running his mouth, But Ja was smiling and laughing too when Klay was going at him. So I figured there probably is more to it,
It's all in good fun, but deep down, if the two of them were like just like in an alley somewhere, I don't know if they'd pull a Mark Sanchez, but like they would start to get to drawing, I think, a little more than what they're letting on. But basically, supposedly, this is what is hard to say exactly what happened, but Klay Thompson is dating what's her face from the rap world,
Megan the horse.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
So
stupid.
Ja supposedly was making fun of Klay, like, you're with her, like she's been ran through, blah blah blah. And so then Klay got in his face, and then afterwards, here's how I think that is really what happened, is because afterwards when they're interviewing, now they have to do the press conference after the game, but they're not going to say that. There's no way. And so he just said, I think it's funny. Ja's a funny guy. He's been running his mouth for a while. It's funny for him to run his mouth from the bench. And it's funny for a guy to run his mouth who never takes accountability. Then he kind of took the high road, kind of a jab, by saying, the NBA is better when it has its stars on the court. And for whatever reason, Ja can't seem to get himself on the court. And it's unfortunate. So like that, he was kind of taking the high road, but kind of taking a dig at the same time. Like Clay's been around the block. He kind of knows what he's doing, and he's not looked at as a joker the way that people think Ja is just a clown and a joker. They respect Clay overall. I would think.
I think people used to. I think a lot of people lost some respect for Clay. I know I kind of lost some respect for him back when he was really just sucking it up for the Warriors. Of course he was very integral part of those championships. Not saying he wasn't, but when he started going downhill, he went downhill hard. And I remember there was games where he couldn't do anything, and there was mouthing going on, and he's on the bench counting the rings and stuff, and it's like,
but he's on the bench as a man now,
and it's like, bro, you are not doing anything to get those rings. And I just remember that caught a lot of flack just across all of the talking heads. They were like, it's kind of a bad look for him, So that's why I think he runs his mouth probably a lot more than we even know. Because I mean, if you're thinking like that's a good move, do while you're on the bench, counting whatever, I mean, who cares? Like, what have you done lately is the mantra, like Steph's still out there just 50 years old and still just killing it, and meanwhile Clay is just dive bombing into, forget me town, I mean,
it's
like
called
I said,
Dallas. Yes, it is forget me town indeed.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he did have 6 threes,
take
but
me too?
I mean, that's
forget me town.
6 threes in the 90s was great,
Forget
but
me town.
6 threes in today's NBA is like,
Won't you take me too?
I got backup point guards coming off the
Dallas
bench,
now
7 threes, So
I love how no one knows what T.I. was saying. We were just.
Were you talking?
Anyway, he is not. He is not impressed. He is not amused.
I froze there. Sorry, I froze for a second.
Yeah,
and we back.
That's funny. That is that's the NBA. He is maybe partly. He's like a 1% chance for Idiot of the Week, but
Mayday, Mayday! Cover your brains, boys and girls. Put on your tinfoil hats, because this is Idiot of the Week.
Now hold up. Wait a minute. This is the real Idiot of the Week, Adam. UAB. No, it is no longer Trent Dilford's baby. And we've got, a homicidal maniac on our hands. Daniel Mincy. What kind of last name is that? Mincy for a Division I offensive lineman? Well, he did not mince actions by going after 2 teammates over a bowl of cereal. I don't know what it was over. Don't really care. But on game day, playing South Florida, who, no longer in the playoff hunt anymore, decides to go old Captain Stabbin'. No, literally with a knife after 2 of his teammates. They survived. So, yes, we will make some jokes about it. Idiot. Yeah, to say the least. Holy crap. Never did I think I'd see the day. Usually it's just like homicide, like shootings that happen. But with a knife? Is that the Birmingham way? I mean, we don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. I get that, T.I., but with a knife on game day? Like, you got a game to play. And the interim head coach is like, yeah, the guys decided we'll still go out there. And, a couple of players, in light of the incident earlier, we're going to sit this one out. We only lost by 30 and we put up 18 points. Any other questions? Like, that was the response post game. I don't know if you all saw it, but it was just so laissez-faire with old Captain Stabbin'. Like, look, UAB, your season's gone south. You still beat Memphis. I mean, look at Memphis. Like, how embarrassing is that? You lose to a team that's got to do this, going out to stab his own teammates, and now to see this, like, I'm losing my mind just trying to think this one through. It's Yeah, UAB, maybe your player should have been taking that weapon out on the field with them. You would have won a couple more games this year. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, coach is like, Johnson, you're starting today. The kid hasn't played at all ever. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, why am I playing? Well, the two guys in front of you got stabbed. Well, that's weird.
I don't want to play.
Who'd they get stabbed by? The other guy that's in front of you.
Yeah, right. He was
It's like,
taking his job. Wait, I got to take his job. Who took that guy's job?
Yeah.
He's got a cap in my ass.
He's like, wait, am I going to get stabbed next? I don't want to play if that's the case,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit rolls downhill. Well, apparently knife blades roll right in their stomachs. So
yeah, I was telling my wife about that story, and she was like, well, what do they do? I was like, well, I'm pretty sure a couple freshmen got to play that game because they didn't have anybody at that point,
we usually call them fresh meat.
Yeah.
Fresh meat.
I was going to say old mince
meat. I'll make
Daniel
mince
meat. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Hey, now.
Damn, Adam stole my joke. That's literally what I was about to say.
Yep.
I was going to say Daniel mincemeat out there, chopping up his teammates. But I mean, look, I've been there, man. Sometimes, you look at the breakfast bar. There's only one more French toast stick. Maybe one last Pop-Tart. You're like, hey, I'm gonna get that Pop-Tart. No, bro, I'm getting that Pop-Tart. And you just sometimes you gotta stab your teammates to get that last Pop-Tart. You just don't typically do it on game day though, because that really puts a wrinkle in the game plan. When you stab your teammates on game day.
Let them heal. Yeah.
I mean, that's more of like a Wednesday action, because I mean they could come around and be ready by Saturday. At least in the previous experiences where I've seen that happen. Never.
I was gonna say a lot of times you've seen it. Yeah.
Which is so crazy. Yeah. I remember when you guys threw it in the group chat, Miles was like, holy horse cocks, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I need to click this link. I'm not really trying to look at any horse cocks. And then I was like, holy horse cocks.
No. If I was going to do that, I would say it's raining horse cocks. I always decide for that.
Raining horse cocks.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
It is raining horse cocks. Yeah, well, it's just a crazy story. I mean, you can't be, you have all your marbles to even allow yourself to even think that you're going to do something like that, and then to follow through with it. I mean, what in the world? And I read that he was a former Kentucky Wildcat. So I'd like to know that story. Yeah. I'd like to know that story. Like, helps. What did you do at Kentucky to be kicked off that team? Because they need everybody they can get, bro. It's Kentucky. Like
he's got at Kentucky.
Yeah, he's got to be a little crazy. It
was a little sucky though.
Yeah, a little sucky. But yeah, I mean, now he's going to be going to jail for a while. I guess they're probably going to get him with what, attempted murder. I don't know. I mean, I know the guys aren't dying, but you can still charge him with that, right? Because you stab somebody, that you got some intent there.
It's Alabama. They'll roll it up to like a domestic idiot of the weakness, and he'll be out. He'll be out by week 2 next year. You just write this up as a minor ACL tear and go through rehab and get him back out on the field.
Yeah, Kirby Smart will offer a scholarship.
Oh, well said. Yeah. So we've got with Georgia their 27,000th arrest over the last 6 seasons. This one might be a new record though, right? New record.
Yeah, Georgia
checks out.
A new record, solid. Georgia is. I think that's one of the requirements there. If you do not get arrested, you can't stay on the team. I think that is pretty much what Kirby's
because they ain't kicking them off. That's for sure. Yeah,
they're like, all right, guys. Hey, he's like, got
13 charges. 13. Yeah.
He's got
right,
like
the drive test.
He's got a dry erase board. He's like, all right, so Stevens, I need you to get DUI this weekend. Oh, coach, I'm not even 21.
When they recruit, they go into the people's houses and they're like, now, son, have you ever
played GTA?
Have you ever robbed a convenience store? Is there some things, on their tape? Miles and I used to work for a company that would highlight the people's tape, right? So the under-recruited college kids. So this guy got a block here, or the high school athletes. Well, maybe at Georgia they highlight, wow, look at this kid's speed. Look how fast he's running from the cops from a convenience store.
Yeah. Well said. Getting away from the cop speed naturally. Gus Johnson is. Well said.
Yeah. Have you ever? Excuse me, son. I love the way you play ball, but have you ever driven a sports car at 120 miles per hour while the police are chasing you? No, sir. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Got a home for you.
What else, guys? Come on. GTA 6 has not come out. We've been waiting for it forever. Who was going to fill the void besides Georgia football?
So
They're helping us all out.
What's really funny, actually, is this is a story that I researched 4 different times as I did the biography of Jerry Rice in school, because I always had a different teacher in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, so I could pick the same player and they would never know. And so this story is absolutely true. Jerry Rice got in trouble in high school for skipping school, and he got caught by the principal, and he was sprinting so fast away from the principal that once they caught up to him or found him or whatever, they said, "Hey, you have to try out for football or you will be in even more trouble." So he did. That is absolutely real, because normally Jerry had to go home and help his bricklayer father, and he didn't play football. And so that is an honest true story, which is crazy what we're talking about.
Well, it's crazy because he wasn't known for being fast. He was known as a great route runner.
Right.
I don't know if that story checks out then.
I'm just saying, I mean, at 15, yes, he probably was fast in Starksville, Mississippi.
It's also very crazy that somehow Adam found a way to talk about the Niners. So
I didn't even say they even played tonight, and I didn't even get into it. Look, Niners by 50. Okay, they're playing the Panthers.
I would say so.
They got CMC.
Yeah, I think CMC is going to be like, hey, remember when you guys traded me? I'm about to dump 5 touchdowns on you. You know?
Yeah. But here's what sucks.
I was going to say, I saw a stat while I was at the Titans game yesterday. Of course, it doesn't surprise me because we know what he's capable of. But it just kind of was shocking just because I was glanced up and they were showing the receiving leaders in the NFL, you know. And I look up and it's like Christian McCaffrey, like 700-something yards, and 7 touchdowns.
What?
I'm like, Christian McCaffrey has more touchdowns than the Titans have even scored this season, you know? Like, holy shit. Just for receiving. Just his receiving touchdown.
Let alone rushing.
Man.
He's got
I know.
Too, yeah.
He's just such a monster, man. I think he's so good for football. I wish he was on my team, you know, and not the Niners. But hey, man.
I wish he was on my team.
Here's what sucks. You guys ever get into this situation in fantasy? So I have CMC going, but
you're facing
who I
him
am
in another
playing,
league?
No. But in the league that matters, I have CMC, and going up against Brock Purdy and George Kittle. And I'm like, I hate that. I hate when I'm up by like 43 points. So I should be okay because I had Devontae Adams and what's his name from the Chargers? They have a bye. The quarterback.
For Justin Herbert.
So I picked up. Now this league is wild.
That no-name
guy. This league knows that I have Devontae Adams and had the audacity to let me pick up Matthew Stafford. So I picked up Matthew Stafford a couple days ago, and then what did they do? You get double the points, and now that's why I'm up by 40 because Stafford threw 2 tutties to Devontae Adams.
What fucking league of blind children are you in that Matt Stafford is on the bench in week 11?
It's an Andre
MVP.
It's double entendre side.
Can I please get invited to this league next year, please?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
God,
man, Andre, you're really good, dude.
God.
Andre, I just can't handle it.
Adam's playing in a 4-man league, apparently. You know,
14
league.
They're all women. It's not a 4-man league.
Yeah,
it's Miles and I have
lady league.
Yeah, he's playing with women.
Yeah, one of the person in the league is an amputee, doesn't have any arms. Just like uses his nose to pick up people off the waiver wire. You know, it's just it's too much work for him. So he just left Matt Stafford there for you to take. My God, man, it's wild. It's wild. You belong in some of these fantasy groups. I see these questions. Should I take this trade? It's like they receive Christian McCaffrey and then they give up like nobody, you know, and it's like, should I take this trade? People are like, what is wrong with you? Of course you take the trade. Take it now before the person sobers up and realize they accidentally sent you that, you know?
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Matt Stafford off the bench. I mean, off the waivers.
Off the waiver,
week 11. Yeah. Jesus. I just wish I had that opportunity. Meanwhile, I had to pick up Jacoby brisket sandwich just to hope that I had somebody going because Lamar Jackson was not going to play, and then he played, and then he got me 7 points. The dude got -2 last week, got 7 this week. You know, I have Justin Herbert who is on bye, and I should have started brisket sandwich. He almost got 20 points. Dude's actually been killing it, which is crazy.
Well, he broke a record. They sent the ball to the Hall of Fame because he completed 47 passes against my Niners last week.
Yeah.
Took that L, but
then I got old Marvin Harrison sitting out 2 weeks in a row. Like, yeah, that league is decimated. That's the league I sent the picture of the day. I was like, well, you know, when your flex is already made up for you because all my other guys were just injured or out. It's like I don't even have to think this week. I already just chose for me. So I got axe murdered in that league yesterday. Oh my God, man. I got destroyed. I think I'm going to lose by like 60 points in that game. I mean, but I had Josh Allen as my starting quarterback. What did he do this week? 12. He got me 0.12. Josh Allen got me 0.12.
He doesn't even say 0.12 is 0.12.
I mean, I'm just like, I'm like, are you kidding me? You know,
the official way to say that is 0.12.
I have HN who's on bye. You know, like I have a bunch of people on bye, so it's like still had Derrick Henry getting 2 touchdowns, but meanwhile Josh Allen's out there shitting the bed. So tough sledding for me this week. Although
the ball didn't
like
go
I said,
this way, it went
the league
this way.
The league that matters though, got the win. Now we're all log jammed at 6-6. It's crazy. There's like 8 of us that are 6-6. It's 14-team league. There's like 2 people up top, and then there's like 8 people in a row are all 6-6, which is it's kind of fun. You know, it makes it fun.
Speaking of what matters, Sports Idiot Nation, all of the Idiotverse nations, be sure to follow wherever you get your social media. New episodes come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.